and welcome to our third episode of P.O.D, which is People of DC UK. This is our amazing podcast, so thank you so much for joining us. I'm here today with Liz Pollard from Bespoke Interiors. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Oh, great, thanks. How are you?
Really, really well. Have you ever done a podcast before?
Never.
Never? First podcast?
Absolutely, really nervous, yeah.
Oh, no, you don't need to be nervous. We're just going to have a really nice chat. We're going to talk all things what Liz does because, oh my God, she's so talented. So let's just get straight into it. Liz, what do you do? What's your thing?
Everything creative. So I started off studying soft furnishings over a couple of decades ago.
Wow. What's soft furnishings?
It's curtain making, blinds, cushions, that kind of thing.
Wow.
I then went on to study interior design, City and Guilds. And then from there I've learnt to all interior decorating, so I can do all the work myself as well. And then from there I wanted to be more creative. So having done a bit of acting and drama and like Amdram, things like that, I decided to go back to uni and get a degree. So I did a degree in theatre, set and costume design and realisation, so that I can have a real variety in my work time.
Yeah, wow. And do you do this full time? Is this like your full time job, what you do here at the theatre?
No, the theatre I'm freelance, so I've been working for Horsham Capital since, I believe, maybe 2017. So I started coming in and they used to hire in sets and I would come in and paint the stage and a few props, a couple of flats, whatever, and they would hire the sets in. But then this year they decided to invest a bit more money into something they could reuse every year. So it's a good fit. And so I was invited to collaborate with Jack Lane, the other set designer, and design the entire set and paint it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Massive
I bet that's
job.
been, a big job, right?
Yeah.
How long do you think it takes to make a whole set and paint the whole set?
It's the normal way anyway is Panto's always decided the previous year. So as soon as you close that Panto, that's when the work starts. In the new year, the work starts on the next one for the following December. So we started in kind of January. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And how do you even start something like that? So do you have a meeting and you all kind of decide what's going on, or is it just you and Jack? Or
That involves a lot of collaboration. So we have to work alongside the scriptwriter, the director, and it evolves. So it'll already be decided what the panto's going to be, and then the team's put together, and then it evolves from there. So sort of have initial meetings and put ideas in, things that we all think, yeah, that's great, that'll be really funny, or that's a bit different. We'll agree on sort of a basic foundation to work from, and then the scriptwriter will continue from there and include things, ideas that other people have had, put their own ideas into it, and then we regroup and we say, okay, so we're designing the set, the scriptwriters put this great thing in there, so we need to design something so that will work, and the director they'll have their input as well and say, oh, well, I'd like to have an entrance over here, or I'd like to do that, and then we'll just move things around. And yeah, it all takes time, but it's worth it to get it really spot on.
if you could turn back the time and talk to your 18-year-old self, kind of about what you do now and everything you've achieved, what would you say?
I would say go to uni now and go do theatre, set and costume design, because you're going to love it. Yeah, and I'd have started doing this years ago.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. Totally in my element.
What's your biggest achievement throughout your career?
I would say this panto.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So currently I've reached my pinnacle so far, and who knows how much higher I can go. But this one's been my most enjoyable project that I've ever worked on. Yeah.
And have you always wanted to do this, even from when you were younger?
I'd always enjoyed designing. I'd always enjoyed creating. So this kind of encompasses everything that I've always enjoyed.
If you had 10 times the budget that you have now, what would you do with it? That's a big question,
really hard
isn't it?
question.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I actually wouldn't change much.
Really?
I'm not sure if I would change. I really think we've got this perfect. I mean, only time will tell when it's all put together and the lights are there, but we really have pulled out all the stops and we've thought of everything.
Is there any
Yeah.
surprises? Can you give us any kind of tasters of what's to come?
Oh, what can I say? There's going to be lots of surprises, yeah. It's going to be because I can't give away secrets because that would
No.
I can't give away spoilers.
No spoilers, of course.
But it really is going to be magical. The lighting, the effects, just everything is beautiful. I can tell you a really interesting part is we're so lucky that we were given permission to use copyrighted images from a museum up in London called Pollock's
Wow.
Theatre Museum. And so that started in the Victorian times, and they were originally little model theatres that children would cut out, colour in and stick together. And it's still going now, and they still sell the exact same designs from the Victorian times. And we've had permission to use some of their images. So that's been really fun to inject that into it. So I've used originals and I've hand coloured them in myself for parts of the set, and we've had those all printed up and blown up into full size, ready to be applied when the next build takes place in a few weeks' time.
It sounds just amazing, and I can see why you think it's like the pinnacle of your career, but I do think you're going to go higher and do so much more.
Oh, I do
I
hope
have
so.
really, really good feeling about it. So how did you get into this in the first place? What was the spark? What was the thing that made you go, I really want to do this?
I think with my interior design and decorating, I was getting the occasional, like, really brave, fearless customer or client, and they'd want to do something really different, and we would collaborate together, and I'd really push their boundaries. You know, they'd be saying, oh, I was thinking of maybe a shade of grey, what do you recommend? And I'd say, well, you don't have to have grey.
Everybody has grey, don't they, in
and
their
I said,
homes?
you don't have to.
Yeah.
I said, you can it's your home, you can have whatever you like.
Yeah.
And they were quite surprised at that. I'd given them permission to have whatever they like.
That's funny, isn't it? That people almost feel like they have to do a certain thing because they see everyone else doing it.
Yeah. Well, because they want something that they're going to enjoy and everything. And so I suppose that some people play it safe.
Yeah.
And I would encourage them to, we'll work together and literally any colour that you like, because I'm going to apply it perfectly and it'll be sharp edges, and we'll plan and think about what we're going to do. We can make it look really good, make it work. And I was getting more creative and doing a bit of, a few freehand murals, different coloured ceilings, painting furniture to match, making interesting soft furnishings, and it was getting more creative, and I just really wanted to do more of that and just really embrace sort of creativity and push my boundaries and learn new skills. I'm a bit of an achievement junkie.
Yeah.
And I love to learn new skills and develop my skills. And so I just had funny enough, I was just chatting to some sort of late teenagers, and they were on holiday, and they were telling me how excited they were going to go to uni. And I said, wow, I really admire that, a degree, that's like 2 years and so many hours. And they said, well, it's really, when you break it down, you just do 6 weeks and then you have a holiday, and then you do another 6 weeks and then you have a holiday. And they sort of said, and then before you know it, you've finished a year, and you just repeat that, and then you get your qualification.
Yeah.
And when I thought about it like that actually it is, and it's not like 40 hours a week. So that inspired me to look into it, and that's when I saw the theatre set and costume option, and that seemed to encompass all of my skills, all my interests, and just pushing that a bit more creatively.
Yeah.
So, put my name down and rushed in there.
Oh my gosh. So what was it like on your first day of uni? How did you feel?
It was a bit scary. I got mistaken for staff all the time.
No. You should have played it off, been like, yes, do this.
Well, I could have done, yeah. Oh yeah, the kids certainly behaved in the corridors when I was walking through.
Oh,
yeah.
I love that.
Oh, yeah.
So funny.
It was quite funny. So yeah, so I mean, there was a classroom full of sort of 19, 20-year-olds, and then I was there in my early 40s.
Wow.
But I absolutely love the staff. Are amazing. They really inspire you, and I got the opportunity to do so many things that I hadn't otherwise tried, like hat making and learning like proper pattern making for clothes. And obviously all the set and the model making. Just everything was incredible. Life drawing.
Oh, yeah.
I'd never done that before.
Really cool.
Absolutely love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Recommend it to everyone. Everyone
Yeah.
should try life drawing.
I've never personally tried it, but I've got a friend that does it, and I've also got a friend that models for it. I think that's very brave.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do that part of it, but I could probably do the drawing.
You should do. Have a go. Surprise yourself. You'd be amazed.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I also love how you're a bit of an advocate for going to uni a bit later. And I think that's fine. I think people sometimes worry that you go into education and 18, you go off to uni. But sometimes you're not ready, or sometimes it's not right, or you find the love in like later life. So did you find going to uni a little bit later like a good thing, a positive thing?
I feel like I got more out of it than I would have done when I was younger.
Yeah.
Because from already having children, running my own business, and having financial responsibilities, I have learned disciplines that I wouldn't have had when I was younger. So you have to really excel. You have to be very organised, and I still had to pay my bills, so I still had to keep my business running.
Wow.
So 3 days a week and all the holidays I was working, in addition to my 4 days of uni. But I did it, and it's that feeling of pride and accomplishment at the end of every week, at the end of each term, getting those grades. Yeah, I definitely recommend it for more mature students.
Yeah. Did you ever have a point where you were like, oh, I don't know if I can do this, like with running your business and doing uni? Was it ever like...
Never.
Oh, I love that.
No, never.
Yeah.
No, I love being busy. It was really long hours, but then I've always done that. When you're self-employed, you have to.
Yeah.
Because you have to do your own marketing.
Oh, yeah.
And all the like tool maintenance and cleaning up and planning, and so there's so much more to running a business than just when you're on site carrying out the work. So I was used to long hours, and I just had slightly longer hours.
Slightly longer hours.
Yeah.
But so worth it, right? And what did you do when you finished uni? What was your first thing that you went and did?
Well, when I first started, I knew I needed to get work placement, so that's when I approached different people that did theatre set and got involved and started scenic painting freelance for other set builders. So I started doing that, and I was still making the odd costume for some Amdram, things like that, and still running my business really.
Yeah.
But during that period, or around the end of when I forget when it came, but I'd been recommended to this theatre because they were looking for a new scenic artist, and so I was just straight all over it, really.
Wow.
Yeah.
As well as running your business, or did this kind of become part of your business as well?
Well, it's part of it, because that's what when you're a freelance creative,
You do everything.
that's the whole point. Yeah, is that I do have variety. So they became another client on my client base. So as well as doing residential and occasionally commercial decorating, I've painted the odd sort of mural or things for a commercial property, which is quite fun. Yeah.
What's the best mural you've ever painted? What was it of?
Oh, it has to be everything in this set.
I love every time I ask you that. You're just
in
so
love.
proud.
I am so in love with everything in this set. Yeah.
So nice. And do you think you'll do it again next year here?
Oh, 100%. I
Yeah?
am there. Oh, yeah. They wouldn't have anyone else.
Great.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Congratulations with that.
Thank
And then
you.
hopefully this just be your residency, right? And then this is where you are, and you are the person that does this here.
Yeah. Well, I am. Yeah. They told me that a few years ago that. Yeah, they love my work and they didn't want anyone else to do it. So hence why they asked me this year to just do the whole set. Because what I did was obviously impressing them.
Spectacular, I'm sure.
Thank you.
I'm sure it
Yeah.
was. If you were going to write a book, what would your book be about?
Oh, wow.
I feel like you could write a book.
Yeah, I would like to write a book. I think it would be... It would be like a collage of all different subjects, it would be, I'm very much into personal development, positive thinking, and pushing yourself and being the best version of yourself that you can be. So there'd be a lot of that in there, and a lot of life hacks, how-tos, things about organisation, time management, creativity. Oh, it would go on and on. Growing your own veg. I could,
Yes.
I'd put it all in there. Just how to have a good life.
Sounds like a really wholesome book, something you could give to someone with a lot of life lessons in it, and almost something you could get when you start uni. And this is, time management, organisation, but also grow your own veg on your windowsill.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I was growing my own veg at the same time. Yeah.
Did you live at uni then? Did you live in halls? Or did you live at home?
Oh, no, I lived at home.
Lived at home?
Yeah.
Didn't want to do halls?
Oh, no. Well, I still had, my husband to take care of, and, yeah.
You were just off for 2 years. Bye, darling.
Yeah, my youngest son was still at home, the dog, yeah, and my allotment.
Oh, wow. Oh, you have an allotment?
Well, just at the end of my garden, I
wow.
converted some of it to... So, yeah, and one of the other students, she came and lived with me because she was commuting a long way. And so we'd go home and go down the allotment, pick a couple of courgettes and some carrots out the garden and cook dinner.
I love that so much.
It was fun.
This is so nice. I love that. What has fundamentally changed about your work from when you started until now?
I would say since I first started, I'm a lot more confident now and a lot more fearless. I believe in myself more, and I do go for things a lot more now. I've grown to learn that if opportunity doesn't knock, you have to knock, and opportunity answers.
Yes.
And that is so a thing. Yeah, you have to go out there and feel the fear and do things that push you, that you don't... Because I've learned over the years that we're all winging it to a degree.
Oh, yeah.
And things that I'm lacking confidence in, someone else who's full of confidence actually knows half what I know, and I could have done a better job if only I'd spoken up.
That is so true.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to do it, haven't you? I always say if you don't ask, you don't get.
Mm-hmm.
Because someone else will ask instead, and then they'll get it.
Yeah,
and then you'll just watch them do what you want to do.
Yeah.
You've just got to be ballsy, right?
Yeah.
And I love that. And I think sometimes as women, especially growing up, you're taught maybe to don't speak out. Don't be ballsy, and don't do that because you look difficult.
Yeah.
And I think it's really nice now that kind of society is way more forthcoming and accepting of strong women.
Mm.
I mean, there's always been strong women, but I feel like maybe society's deemed them to be difficult or outspoken or...
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that one.
I feel like it's nice that you're an advocate for strong women and standing up for what you want and saying what you want to get what you want.
Yeah, being independent and having those achievements, because that's what life's about. It's that feeling of satisfaction.
Yeah.
And, knowing you've done your best.
Yeah. So when you got the email from me, you said that on the same day you got an email from something else really exciting.
Oh, that was the day before.
Oh, the day before. It was an exciting week.
It was a really mad week. So I opened up an email from a company called Trade Professional Decorator, who have an online presence where clients can find reputable tradespeople and where we can promote each other and communicate and discuss things. And they said, send us some pictures of something you're proud of, and we're going to pick someone to be featured. So I sent off some pictures of a recent project that I was particularly proud of. And they picked me, so I'm going to be featured on Trade Professional Decorator as well.
Wow, so is that a magazine or a website or?
It's a website,
Wow.
Online, yeah. So that's nice to be, because I've seen other work that's been featured on there, and it's up there, yeah. It's pretty good stuff, so.
And
that's
so is
quite
your
nice.
stuff as well, and yours will be up there and people will be looking at it going, wow, that's really good.
Oh, I hope so. Yeah, hopefully I can inspire people as well to be more adventurous with their interiors and go up to the next boundary and put things that they might not have otherwise thought of.
I feel like you need to come into my home because I love white walls and beige carpets.
Right.
Sounds like your nightmare. And sometimes I'm like a little bit nervous to go that extra mile, do that thing, because I don't know if it looks right. Like, I don't have any interior design knowledge, so I'm gonna need to bring you in.
Oh, definitely.
And you could design my home.
Oh, we'd have colour everywhere.
I'd love that. I would love that. I'm not brave enough. I think it's about being brave as well with interior. And, you know, I always think, oh, but I've got to live with it forever. But you don't.
Of course you don't. You change it. Yeah.
Kind of taking like another aspect of it, because life is full of ups and downs. Kind of taking another aspect of it, because life is full of ups and downs. It's literally a roller coaster. Have you ever had any low points in your career?
I wouldn't say sort of low points, but there's been times when I felt like it's monotonous, or I'm not loving it. And I made a decision. I was inspired by, I forget which book, because I'm always reading personal development books, but something I'd read a long time ago, and it said about never having to work. And I was inspired by that, and I decided then that I was never going to work another day in my life again. If it felt like work, then I was I was going down the wrong path. I had to feel alive. I had to feel like I want to be in 2 hours early and work till midnight and be passionate about it. And there's been times, and that's when I've learnt a new skill. That's when I've done something about it, and I've just dug deep and thought, okay, so how can I develop something? How can I improve on something when I feel like it's, I'm not looking forward to getting out of bed, or when the weather's a bit rubbish and you think, and that's not how life should be. You should be, great, I'll just take my umbrella because I want to be there. And
love that.
So I just turn it around, and hence, and here I am.
Yeah. Positive mindset, so important.
Oh, you have to.
So powerful.
Yeah,
I love that, and I'm the same. I think that I am really lucky in my job, like getting to do this, meeting lovely people and presenting and performing. It's great, and I don't feel like I'm working. And I'm the same as you. If I ever felt like I was working, I think I would stop and do something else.
Yeah, you have to, don't you?
Yeah. And this is the first job I've kind of had doing what I do as being employed. Would you ever consider being employed rather than being self-employed? Because for me, it was a big leap. It was like, okay, I've been in charge of my own time since I've started working, since I've been, out of drama school. And then, I got this opportunity, and I was like, okay, I'll be employed. I'm still doing what I love, but it was a leap. Do you think you could take that leap?
It is a big commitment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have recently committed to employment.
Oh.
I have, yeah. During term time only, I am now working as a Senko support member of staff in a high school. And I'm enjoying it. It's really challenging. It's reactive. I love it. And I can bring my creativity and my positivity to that. And it allows me to still do all my own creative stuff during all the holidays, the weekends, everything else. Yeah, it is. It's good. I'm happy that it's a short day though.
Yeah, 3:30 finish. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oof, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's dreamy.
That's been the strange part. That's been the strangest part of it.
Really?
Yeah. It's like, I can go home now.
I'm finished now.
It's like,
it's only halfway through the day.
Yeah, I'm just warming up. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously a big thing for creatives like us was COVID, when it literally stopped everything. How did it affect your business and your career?
For a very short period, people didn't want people in their homes.
Yeah.
But that didn't last long, and it didn't bother me because then I just got on with stuff in my own home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought, I'll wallpaper that ceiling and I'll repaint that. And I just got super creative at home with my own projects, and before I knew it, everyone was back wanting everyone back in their houses again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so good. I feel like that's because of your positive mindset as well. Like, okay, I can't go into people's homes, so I'll do my own home. And then people
Exactly.
can see what amazing things I can do. I'm in my own home. I could be in my pajamas with a brew, and then you can crack back on when everything's open again. I love that.
Yeah.
It just, your mindset is inspiring and your positivity is wonderful. It's like something that not a lot of people have, and I think it's something that people should have or try to do, because obviously
Yeah.
things happen and it's hard to always be super positive about things.
Yeah.
But I think if you can turn that coin and see something negative but turn it to positive, or at least try to, I think it's really powerful.
Oh, you have to take responsibility.
Yeah.
It's like, they say, oh, parents say when you're little, only boring people get bored. But it's true.
It's so true.
It really is true.
Yeah. I love that.
And it always surprises me when people say, oh, I'm bored or I've got nothing to do. And I think, surely you must have a knitting project you can pull out, or, a cupboard you could alphabetise, or there must be something you can do that would improve your life, that your future self will thank you for. Yeah, there's always something, isn't there? Or even a pair of trainers to clean, or not that I ever get that desperate, but I could. I've usually got more messy things I can be doing. But
How do you feel that social media has changed that for people? Because social media is a big thing when people are bored. They just scroll.
yeah,
Do you think that's changed maybe a mindset of people, or... Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do. I think society's completely different now, and the younger generation's completely different now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of time, I do it as well. I waste time scrolling. I'll just go to quickly Google something that's important, and
is it?
before you know it, I'm looking at other rubbish.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we all do it. But then you can find a lot of positive things on the internet as well.
Yeah.
A lot of inspiration.
Lots of jobs as well. Like, social media has opened up this whole new world of jobs for creatives that maybe couldn't have got into that industry beforehand, because I feel like as a creative, unless you're making your own work, it's quite a close-knit community, and it's quite hard to break into it unless, I don't know, your dad's a director or your mum's a famous actress. But I feel like social media has given people that platform to be independent and perform.
Yeah.
And also showcasing work. Do you showcase your work on social media at all?
I do. I'm not very good at always remembering to do it.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
Yeah.
It's another job, isn't it, on the list of jobs
It
for the
is,
day?
yeah. I usually remember to take after pictures.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, which is good. But again, not always. Don't always remember the before pictures. And I don't always get round to sharing it.
Yeah.
Now and then I think, I really should share something. Or I'm particularly proud of a job, and I'll make sure that I get that on my business page. Yeah.
You need a social media manager, don't you? Someone to just follow you and just take pictures and
Yeah,
film.
yeah, I do really.
Like another freelancer.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's social media's a funny one. So we can't not mention, of course, this amazing pantomime that you're doing all the set for, and it's going to be fantastic. So tell us, when is it? How long is it on for? Where can we get tickets?
Okay, so it's at Horsham Capitol Theatre, which is in Horsham.
Which is where we are now.
Yeah, which is where we are, which is, right by the train station, which is handy for anyone that isn't local. And it starts on the 8th of December, and it runs right through December. And tickets can be purchased from the website.
Amazing.
Yeah, Horsham Capitol. Yeah.
So, Liz, to kind of wrap this up, where do you see yourself in 10 years' time?
Wow, in 10 years' time, I think in a perfect world, I'd be doing a lot more scenic painting in theatres everywhere. Hopefully with my same assistant that I was lucky to find this year, Chloe, because we just worked so well together. And the sky's the limit, really. Yeah, it would definitely be doing a lot more of the theatre and the designing.
Would you ever do it outside of the UK? Would you ever travel with it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I would go anywhere. If someone said I can go and design and paint something, yeah, be fine.
Love that.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been really interesting and insightful to listen to everything you've had to speak about. And thank you so much for watching our podcast. This has been DCT UK's pod, which people of DCT UK. There'll be a brand new episode on next week as well. And if you fancy being on the podcast, just drop us a DM. Come and join the party. We have a lot of fun, don't we?
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Cool.